Hello and welcome to all of you in Nigeria and around the world to News Cycle here on Global Television, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Edikan Michael. At least 6 persons have been killed and many others injured in a series of bomb attacks in Tasha Maraba, Gwoza Town in Borno State. Confirming the incident, the Director General of the State Emergency Management Agency, Dr. Bankinde Sadiyu, said 18 persons died while 19 others were seriously injured in that incident. In a statement by Tinubu's spokesman, Ajun Galele, the president described the attacks as desperate acts of terror and a clear manifestation of pressure mounted against terrorists and the success achieved in degrading their capacity to launch offensives. Vice President Kashim Shettima has reiterated the federal government's commitment to advancement, security, and welfare of the citizens. Shettima gave the assurance when he led the federal government's delegation to offer condolences to the Minister of State for Police Affairs, Iman Suleiman, in Kefi, Nasarawa State capital. Around 27 states of the Federation and the Federal Capital Territory have failed to assess the 36.1 billion naira education fund provided by the Universal Basic Education Commission in 2023. The 36.1 billion naira figure is contained in a document prepared by the Commission in March 2024, which showed how state-by-state matching grants were not assessed. The document, which was signed by the UBEX Director of Finance and Accounts, Adamu, indicated that Jigawa, Sokoto, and Zamfara State in the northwest, Borno and Taraba State in the northeast, Nasarawa State in the north-central, Ondo State in the southwest, Enugu State in the southeast, and Delta State in the south-south have fully assessed their funds. Chief of Army Staff General Tori Abiodun has assured that the Nigerian Army will continue to rise up to the expectation of ensuring peace and providing security across the nation, in spite of various threats of insecurity, noting that the Army is adaptive and troops are adaptive to every situation. The lawmaker representing Ikwano Umuahia South Federal Constituency, Abia State, Obi Ogacha, has assaulted the intervention of former President Muhammadu Buhari in securing the release of the detained leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Mr. Nnamdi Kanu. The lawmaker visited the former president in his Daura country home on Saturday as part of effort to commence a dialogue to open up political solution to the continued detention of the IPOB leader. Opposition's strikes undertaken by the Nigerian Air Force have destroyed illegal refinery sites in Rivers State and killed several tourists riding on the motorcycles in Niger State. Director of Public Relations and Information of the Air Force Air Vice Marshal Edward said the old thefts in the Niger Delta region have continued to find new ways of concealing their overhead tanks used in storing stolen crude oil products from both state pipelines, just as they have continued to use fast-freight boats to convey their stolen goods. The Defense Police Officers' Wives Associations has pledged to support all relevant security agencies to curb drug abuse and sex exploitation of teenagers in the country. President of the association, Oganwa Musa, made these known at an event to commemorate the first year anniversary as the 15th president of the power in Abuja. Kikolombo Keret tells us more.
Sexual exploitation is a serious violation of human rights, affecting millions of people worldwide, particularly women and children, which is devastating, causing physical and emotional harm, stigma, shame, and even death. President, Defense Police Officers' Wives Association, Ogogo Musa, says celebrating the 1 year in the office with the barrack children and youth is aimed to raise awareness of the danger of illicit drugs as well as sex exploitation, as many cases are underreported.
We saw the need that this should be done because we've been hearing reports here and there, and to mark my money before we go for that, as you heard earlier, we have plans in place to reach out to different schools. They wanted to start with this just to enlighten people and then to see to it that some of these things are really reduced.
Stakeholders at the event says there is need to address the menace of drug abuse and sex exploitation through education, policy, and legal reforms.
About drug abuse, for them to understand that there are dangers in using drugs and it's quite detrimental to their health. We also went ahead to talk to them about how to prevent drug addiction or how to prevent use of drugs, the coping strategies they should use.
When it comes to issues of rape, there's a way the evidence of rape is being taken. You have to take from the sperm on the victim and also take on the accused perpetrator. So if you don't do it at the right time, there's a problem.
Sex exploitation and drug abuse can both be the result of deeper issues such as low self-esteem or history of physical or sexual abuse. The highlights to commemorate the one-year anniversary were presentation by NYSC cultural troops and cutting of the cake. Kikelomo Ukeri, Global Television News.
The National Drug Law Enforcement Agency and the Association of Local Governments of Nigeria have agreed to collaborate toward curbing the menace of substance abuse and illicit drug trafficking in the communities across the country. This was one of the agreements reached at a meeting when the national president of ALGAN, Aminu Musa, led other leaders of the body of all local governments chairmen in the country on a courtesy visit to the chairman and chief executive officer of the agency, Brigadier General Mohammed Buba, at his headquarters in Abuja. The National Insurance Commission has pledged to integrate artificial intelligence, popularly called AI, into the Nigerian insurance sector. Commissioner for Insurance Olusegun made this disclosure at the 2024 Nigeria Actuarial Society's annual industry conference in Abuja. This move, NICOM says, aligns with the federal government's national artificial intelligence strategy, which aims to position Nigeria as Africa's AI hub. From Jigawa state government has announced its preparation to offer free medical treatment, including dialysis, to kidney patients at 5 health facilities in the state. The State Commissioner for Health, Dr. Abdullahi Kanwa, said this while briefing newsmen on the resolution of the State Executive Council meeting. The state government has approved the award of contract to the establishment of the dialysis center in Duse and Regim General Hospitals, while the installation of the dialysis machines and other equipment is at the advanced stage in Adijaz and Gumel General Hospitals. The Turkish Embassy in Nigeria has confirmed that there is no visa ban on Nigerian passport holders against reports that have raised concern. Report that earlier surfaced suggesting that Ethiopia, Turkey, and the United Arab Emirates had revoked certain privileges for Nigerian passport holders, such as visa on arrival, e-visa, and outright passport issues. Personal Secretary to the Turkish Ambassador to Nigeria, Wumi Evelyn, told journalists that there is no visa ban on Nigerian passport holders. The Nigerian Economic Summit Group has backed the recent decision of the Central Bank of Nigeria to discontinue the price verification system for foreign exchange transactions, saying it will remove regulatory bottlenecks and boost macroeconomic stability. In a communique, the group stated that it will welcome the regulatory bank's decision. And now to SOAP, Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project has urged the Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Olayemi Kadoso, to account for and explain the whereabouts of the over 100 billion VAT and bad note and other large sum of cash awaiting examination that are kept in various branches of the CBN. SOAP, which made the call through a statement issued by its Deputy Director, Kowalewe, said the allegations are documented in the latest annual report recently published by the Auditor General of the Federation. Minister of Agriculture, Boubacar Kari, says the government of Saudi Arabia has expressed interest in setting up manufacturing factories in Nigeria for farming equipment. Kari started this on his X handle following a meeting with stakeholders from the Middle East state. He said the aim is to support Nigeria's agricultural sector through mechanization by establishing the plant in the country. The federal government has threatened to terminate the contract of Julius Berger and Chin Civil Engineering Construction Corporation over the handling of the Calabar-2 road project. Minister of Works David Umahi gave the two construction companies 1 week to remobilize the site of first termination of their contract. Speaking in New York during a stakeholders engagement on the element of the Section 3B and 4 of Lagos Calabar Coastal Highway, Umahi gave the contractors marching orders to mobilize the site, saying President Ahmed Tinubu has released enough funds for the project. The Minister of Police Affairs, Ibrahim Gadiam, says it's intervening in the ongoing face-off between the Police Service Commission and the Nigerian Police Force. After concluding the recruitment exercise, the Commission on June 4th released a list of 10,000 successful applicants for constable and specialist cadre roles in the Nigeria Police Force. 11 days later, the police rejected the list over the allegation that the recruitment exercise was marred by corruption and irregularities. A former Chief of Defence Staff, Ibrahim Ogohi, is dead. An incident said to have occurred in the early hours of today. Following brief illness, in a statement by the Director of Defence Information, Brigadier General Tukur Gurso, confirmed the news of Ogohi's death, saying the former defence chief served as Chief of Defence Staff between 1999 and 2003. Nigerians have demanded greater transparency and accountability from government regarding its spending priorities. This is in response to the alleged plan of the Senate to approve purchase jet for President Bola Tinubu and Vice President Kashim Shettima. Queen Agaba has the details.
The plan to acquire a presidential private jet for President Tinubu has elicited widespread public debate, with the majority of Nigerians expressing disapproval due to the prevailing economic hardships.
They are sort of representing themselves and not the masses again, as they were elected. They were primarily elected to represent the masses. They are not. They are representing themselves.
Me, as I stand like this, as a father, you have a father that is okay, father can't take care of this country, can't take care of those people, and they work with those people. And the father, now, if your children they feel hungry, you know how you feel someone. So that people where they are around all this misery, if the thing no work, find way.
Wow, if the president want to get a presidential jet, no problem, it's good. It's our president. You understand? We cannot say you should not buy a presidential jet. You understand? We won't want to buy something that is more presidential jet that you want. But if the president has a jet and it's available, which is more than one or two, and you want to buy a new one, it's not a big thing. We can sell those others one. We will sell those other one. You understand? We'll combine the money and buy the new current one for him. You understand? So that we will reduce the cost of the new one.
They can't tell me the past president jet has been abandoned just because it's on his own tenure now. He had to get a new jet. So it doesn't work like that. We have so lot issues in this country already that we are facing. That they should just pity the nation and the hustlers. I don't cast the politicians as hustlers. They are not hustling. We the mere ground floors are the one hustling for them.
Nigerians have called on the government to justify the necessity of the jet purchase and to demonstrate how it will be beneficial to the country. Queen Agaba reporting for Global Television.
You're watching News Cycle coming to you live from Nigeria's capital Abuja on StarTimes, channel 276. Kindly follow us on all social media platforms using @Global TV NG and other handles now showing your screen. When News Cycle returns, France vote in high-stakes parliamentary elections. These and other stories coming right after this break. Do stay with us.
Hello, children. Gather around, let me tell you a story. Do you know that stories have a way of captivating the minds of children, bringing fun and imagination to teach them morals? Join Sharon Ajay as she takes you to explore the thrilling and exciting world of storytelling.
I'll be sharing with you our next interesting story.
Tune in every Saturday on Global Television, time 5:30 p.m.
Is the desk on Global Television.
Nigeria, come join Anthony Momadou on television's most compelling and facts-finding talk live show.
We are the Can we not say that because
this country gets it right?
Who are these bandits? It's the Dex on Global Television, where we analyze and dissect storming issues and commentaries in the world's biggest black nation, Nigeria.
Who is being held accountable for this money?
The eyes have it.
We stay and decide policies and reforms on the Dex. Tune in Mondays to Fridays, 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. on Global Television. Let's stay on the Dex.
Well, thanks for still staying with us. Now to the foreign scene. People in France have today gone to the polls in the first round of high-stakes parliamentary elections. This could alter the country's trajectory and see the far-right party of of the Marine Le Pen take power in a historic feist. President Emmanuel Macron stunned the nations by calling polls after the far-right National Rally Party's strong showing in European Parliament elections this month. With Russia's war against Ukraine in its third year and energy and food prices much higher, support for the anti-migration and a receptive party as such, despite Macron's pledges to prevent it hasn't. The two-round vote could put the far-right in power in France for the first time since the Nazi occupation in World War II. Polling stations open across mainland France at 8 a.m. local and close at midday, immediately followed by projections that usually predict the result with a degree of accuracy. Meanwhile, one person has been killed and 5 others wounded in the northeastern France when several masked gunmen opened fire at a wedding ceremony. Sources suggested that the attacks in the northeastern city was linked to the settling of scores between drug traffickers. The shooting, according to reports, occurred at the reception hall overnight, Saturday to Sunday, with around 100 people in attendance. 2 people were seriously injured and one of them was in a critical condition. United States President Joe Biden is reportedly making efforts to reassure donors after his performance during the first presidential debate with presumptive Republican nominee Donald Trump, rattled Democrat and cast serious doubt about his re-election prospect. The president has been attending fundraisers in an effort to acknowledge concerns, but also promised that he is not abandoning his campaign to command the White House for the next 4 years. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says his country is ending the intense phase of the war in Gaza. However, fighting continues to rage as Israeli troops and tanks advance into the Chujahs in the north and Rafah in the south. Prime Minister said his country is ending the actions, signals in a shift of focus in the simmering conflict on the country's northern border with Lebanon. And now to business. Nigeria's reserves have continued an upward trajectory, hitting $34.14 billion on Friday, having appreciated by 4.06% from $32.74 billion on June 3, 2024. Data from the Central Bank of Nigeria has shown the country's reserves are boosted by the latest rounds of loans and the federal government from the World Bank of Nigeria. Now to sports. Abia Warriors coach Bethel Oji says his team 0-2 lost to the Warriors of Maduguri in Saturday's finals of the President Federation Cup was due to fatigue. Oji said this in an interview on the sidelines of the defeat in the finals of the oldest cup competition in Nigeria played at the Mobaji Johnson Arena, Lagos. Canada held 2015 and 2016 Copa America champions Chile to a 0-0 draw in Orlando, which was enough to see the Canadians into the last 8. Chile needed a victory to leapfrog the Canadians into the knockout rounds, but were left with a mountain to climb earlier in the game when Gabriel Suazo was dismissed for a second yellow card after only 27 minutes. That's a package of news cycle coming to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja, World Star Times, channel 276. Kindly follow us on all social media platforms using @GlobalTVNG and other handles now showing the screen. I'm Edika Mike, and many thanks for watching. See you again.